thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really appreciate you, just giving me a chance to, show you who I am. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Edhem. I do poetry, podcasts, history, pretty much a mixture of a lot of things. So if you're interested in that, please hit a like and subscribe to this video. So if you're here, pretty much means that you understand the importance of our beliefs and that our beliefs can change the world, So today I'm gonna make it as quick as possible. Just like personally, when I changed my belief, a couple years back, I feel that it's just interesting how it took me to a whole different journey. And I feel like we weren't taught the importance of our beliefs, and that we're consistently creating new manifestations in our lives, not even consciously but subconsciously. So I'm gonna do my best to make this video just interesting. I really want it to resonate with my viewers. So let's take a dive and let's see what we can do here. So they say that you can change your belief within 30 seconds. But before I get to that part, I did a little breakdown of this very interesting person who I found on the internet. So his name is Seth Abe. So it's a really interesting guy who pretty much broke down in a book how, within 30 seconds you can change your whole life. So let's get into it. So many people believe that a belief is just a way of thinking, So the key question that maybe everyone has right now is, how do I change my thought habits? Because our beliefs are formed by our thought habits. And when you finally hear the thoughts in your head, and when you can finally truly understand what they mean, and when you interpret every thought, it can be very draining. So you have to know what thoughts to give energy to and what thoughts not to give energy into. Just very important. And Seth Abe also says that when we fully come to the understanding what we mean when we say the way you feel is dependent upon what you are choosing. So the way you feel is dependent upon what you are choosing, which is the only way we know of what will inspire you to alter your thought pattern. So a lot of it comes down to you, your intentions. What is it you want? Not based on desire, but based upon fulfillment. What is it going to fulfill your existence on this planet? That's just me, And when you really mean it, when you say something, it's more important when you just mean it. Like intention is so important. And a lot of times we just want to manifest things without putting any intention into it. So some may ask, what do you mean by intention? Like when you want something, like, why do you want it? It's like, think about how it's going to change your life and how it's going to change the people's lives around you. That's when it becomes more intentional. Because a lot of times people just say, I want money. But like, what do you want with that money? What are you going to do with it? You have to have intention behind everything you want. Because my belief is that, God wants to fulfill every manifestation like that is within your mind. But God knows what manifestations will cause you to go into a confusing direction. So intention can really help. Then pretty much these habits will change very quickly. And what's beautiful about beliefs, it can change very quick. You can change something that you believed in for years, and then you can change that belief within a sudden second. So that's just very important that I want to put in there. However, as long as you are prepared to follow the advice of your elders, like, no offense to the elders, but like, they usually tell us to like bite our lip and to like deal with it, right? To turn the other cheek when it comes to like our beliefs and stuff. Like when we're feeling unpleasant, or when we feel like, oh, the world is coming to an end, or like when you feel that you just have so much negative feelings and emotions, and when you start telling people, they just pretty much tell you, oh, that's normal, like just suck it up. That's what they always say, right? But that's not always true, because even that can change your belief system. Like our just for example, I feel like our society pretty much like kind of convinces us that if we're having these bad feelings and these bad emotions because we're unworthy. So we have that belief already, like, oh, if I'm feeling this, it's because I don't deserve the good things in life. So just be very careful with what people tell you. Like, yeah, just be very careful. So then it's highly likely that you won't have the opportunity to alter your beliefs, and you'll always be trapped in that cycle of suffering. So again, people can really shape your belief with the advice that they give you. So just be careful with what advice you give energy to. We often believe that we are meant to suffer and to have negative emotions, while the more fortunate or the rich people are able to thrive and have nothing but good emotions. But as you guys can see, within the past couple of years, that hasn't always been true. We have seen very rich people commit suicide, and they have everything they have ever wanted: cars, family, best careers, whatnot, but still they commit suicide. So I just thought that was interesting, how maybe our beliefs are more detrimental than what we think of. Like, when you become famous, sometimes you just think, oh, okay, I'm all good and everything is all gravy, but your belief systems start to change because you think you have everything. But in, like, deep within our hearts, sometimes what we want is what we never asked for. That's just my opinion. So the fact is that your beliefs determine both your emotions and your imagination. The same feelings is no longer entertained when the belief disappears and your imagination drifts elsewhere. So, next point that Seth A brought up was that the fact is that your beliefs determine both your emotions and your imagination. So within our belief systems, there's two of these functioning things. It's emotions and imagination. So a lot of times we give our manifestation a lot of emotion, but not enough imagination, or we give our beliefs a lot of imagination, but not enough emotions. So Seth A emphasizes the importance of both. So I hope that resonates with you. And he also includes that the same feelings is no longer entertained when the belief disappears and your imagination pretty much drifts off elsewhere. So when you don't entertain your belief, your imagination just goes elsewhere, like literally. So it's like these two things literally in our bodies that are just going around, and it's like they want our focus, right? So I just feel like I do believe that we're consistently manifesting things because we are humans, and humans have imagination, and we have emotions, and we have beliefs, and we have desires. So it's just very important to realize that your beliefs make you who you are. So next point is that your beliefs instantly activate your creative and emotional powers. I love how he said that, because with my poetry, a lot of times I don't realize that a lot of my poems are fuel to my belief systems, and that, like, I'll look back years ago at poems I have written, and I find it pretty scary how things take time to manifest. Like, I've seen things that I wrote down that I wanted really bad, and I've received it. And I'm not talking about materialistic things such as cars and money and whatnot, you know, like maybe in the future I'll like talk more about that. But yeah, we are very powerful beings, and we can manifest a lot. So next bullet point was that few beliefs are purely intellectual. That's what Seth Abe said. So he made that very important. So few beliefs are purely intellectual. And in order to fully examine the ideas inside your conscious mind, you must be able to identify and understand the imaginative and emotional meanings. It's very interesting. I do find it very interesting that there's also meanings behind everything. Like, you know, like all the signs and patterns that we see today going on in the world, they have meaning. So, yeah. Next bullet point. There are various ways of altering the belief by substituting its opposite. So, I kind of got confused what he meant by that, because he also like says, in addition, he uses the 3-pronged like exercise, which pretty much is like when you create the opposite feeling from the one that results from the belief you wish to alter, and you direct your imagination in a different way than the belief commands. So I didn't really know how to break that down, but yeah, so I think he's pretty much saying that with every thought or belief that comes into your mind, you can like you can change the outcome by like choosing the emotion that you want instead of the emotion that your belief in your head or the thought in your head is telling you. So yeah, I tried my best to break that down, but I just found that kind of interesting how he pretty much says there's ways to like trick your mind, like reverse psychology. Like sometimes your mind could play tricks on you, but you can also play tricks on your mind. So he also says that you actively reassure yourself that the unfulfilling belief is a concept about reality rather than a feature of reality. He hit that so hard because a lot of times with these thoughts and our beliefs in our mind, we think that it's real, but sometimes no, like we don't. It's just false evidence appearing real. With like fear, like false evidence appearing real. Sometimes our mind can just put something in there and we just automatically think it's reality, but it's not a reality. It can be a feature of reality, but it's not real. So he pretty much says like keep guard of your mind. Don't let your mind break you down. And he says you also come to understand that concepts are not static. Rather, they are like influenced by feelings and imagination, which can either support you or they can like hurt you. So yeah, so everything comes into like play when you look at everything into terms of frequency. You know, just match that frequency that you want. And if there's a frequency that is coming upon your life right now that is vibrating too low, you don't have to let it influence your belief system. Just let it go. Literally let it go. I liked how he also talked about that, like how when we're poor, like we used to like pretend that we're rich and we have everything. Like that's what I used to do when I was young, and I'm like, oh, I don't have nothing, but I used to imagine like, man, I have money, I can buy this, I could buy that. Yeah, as a kid, I was like already practicing like manifestation in my head. But yeah, I just found that really funny. Or he says that like when you're sick, you can imagine that you're cured and that you're doing everything that you want or everything that you always wanted to do before you got sick. So like such as like people with cancer, like they can self heal themselves if they just use the power of belief and the power of thought. And he also says that like if you cannot communicate with others, imagine yourself doing so easily. A lot of times people don't have the ability to break down ideas or to like express themselves, which is pretty sad because people out here have so much beautiful things to offer, but they feel that they just can't communicate. So he's saying that if you are one of those people, just imagine yourself doing so easily and your belief system will alter like your biochemistry. So yeah, I found that really interesting. I have a lot of friends who who family members had cancer, and then yeah, a lot of times they do pass on, but a lot of times we can cure our cancer with love and prayer. It's really interesting. And a lot of times I feel like we mess up because when we go to the doctors and we have like cancers and diseases, they often tell us that like, oh, there's nothing you can do, you're gonna die, you have 5 weeks to live, and already that messes up our belief system and we already set up for failure. And I'm not trying to say anything wrong with like our doctors or anything, but I feel like we just have to give people more hope. Instead of giving them seeds of pain, give them seeds of perseverance, letting them know that no matter what afflicts you, you still can make it through. I just find it really interesting how we give up so fast. And so my next bullet point, he says that if you feel that your days are dark and pointless, then imagine them filled with joy and bliss and gratefulness. So I just find it really interesting. And I also like brought up how like he covers that like usually when we feel that our days are like dark and pointless and they have no like just no more happiness in it, and he was pretty much saying that like we just imagine your days filled with joy and bliss, like even if it's not filled with that. I do that all the time. I'm not gonna lie, like when I'm down on my luck and when things do happen to me and my mind, I just go back to my mind. When we were kids, we used to go back to our minds when times weren't great. and we used to just, live in our little sanctuary. And I just feel it's sad as we get older, we're pulled away from that sanctuary. But I feel like being an adult with that imagination still, it does us so much better than bad, So, and I put that I realize that this all may sound corny or unrealistic, but even in your day-to-day activities, like, you frequently use imagination and your feelings to support your beliefs, and sometimes to support the beliefs that you feel are like less worthy. And sometimes I'm not saying we take advantage of our emotions and our imagination, but we only use them when we feel like our backs are pushed against the wall, But I feel like even during your good days and when times are just very good, still use that imagination and use your emotions. Like why do we always have to tap into these potentials when times are not going well for us? So like, I just find it really interesting that we give our reality fruition. And if you're not putting emotion and you're not putting imagination into your life, what are you putting into your life, And another bullet point that I put was that it might take some time to notice tangible benefits from the new ideas that you put into your, into your existence, just as it took some time for the unsatisfactory beliefs to materialize. So, however, like, these new ideas will require growth and will also alter your experience just as much as the old ones did. Like, I just find it very scary that a lot of times we live our days based on the actions we have done in the past. Some people might not believe it, but yeah, everything we have done in the past has opposite and equal reaction. Sometimes it takes time for it to come into fruition. Sometimes it takes days, weeks, sometimes it takes years. So I just feel like we're consistently in the process of weeping and sowing. So just always plant blessings, don't plant hatred, don't plant jealousy, don't plant envy, So let's go next. Here is how you can make a change quickly and change your beliefs within 30 seconds. So this is pretty much what, like, the ending of my podcast today. This belief system I've utilized in my life, and it really works. It really does. So first, you make that statement of desire, the I want statement, which we all know that. So, but the most important thing that a lot of these people are not also including is use that statement with intention. So don't just say, I want a nice car, I want $1 million, I want this and that. When you say it, have intention with it. Like, before you even say it, have that intention in your heart, then say it. 'Cause a lot of times we say things without an intention. Like, what's the point of saying something if you don't know why you want it? And then the next bullet point is that then what that does automatically, it makes that particle that you're going to make bigger. Yes, we talk in terms of particles. And Seth Abe also says that it might already be a particle or it might not be a particle, but that identifies what you want, and that will form a particle. So yeah, for example, they say you want to be rich. That particle is already out there. There's already money out there. You just make that particle bigger to come to you. So that's what he put down. I thought that was really interesting, and I do believe that. And he said it also alerts your guidance system. Like, so the two very important functions. So like the I want statement, and then just alerting your guidance system. So, and then that when that guidance system is alerted, anything that is within you or anything that will come to you that is now in harmony with what you have said I want to, you'll be notified of it. And pretty much like the universe or God will give you everything in which your beliefs align with. So again, like, your belief systems are always functioning. It's always there. And whatever you have in your heart that you are resonating with, and like that frequency that you are matching within your existence, if you are in harmony with it and then you're utilizing the proper belief tools, the universe and like, or God will just, I feel like, will just bless you with so much things that you didn't even know you wanted, things that you haven't even asked for. will be given to you. So thank you so much for being here, and I really hope this just motivates you to like change your belief systems about yourself or about the surroundings or your environment or just the world in general. Because like I said, this whole earth is like just a big pot of soil, you know, and we are the seeds. I just feel like we're just not planting our feet into the soil. But once you plant your feet into the soil, you will have no choice but to grow. But I feel like what's going on right now is they don't want us to grow, you know? But you know you want to grow. So change your belief system and just watch life change for the good. So thank you guys so much for being here again. If you like this, please subscribe and hit a like so this can go out to more people. And I just want to say that you being here, like, it's creating a belief in me that's going to help me fulfill my purpose on this planet. So again, thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much.